We would like to welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Nicholas County Board of Education, February 20th, 2023. And at this time, if you'd stand for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. If you'll join the board with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3, approve minutes of meetings held on January 17th, February 6th, and February 13th, 2023.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the minutes for January 17th and February 6th and 13th of 2023.
Okay, we have a motion by Dr. Penix. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Moose seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, action item number 4, action items, discussion and approval of the Glade Creek campus construction documents with approval to put out for bidding pending approval by the West Virginia School Building Authority.
So we have Dave Ferguson and Chris Campbell from ZMM here tonight, and they have a presentation they're going to put before you. Nothing has changed, I don't believe, since the last time they presented to you. This is just the official documents that they're asking for approval tonight to go before the SBA for approval.
So since you've seen this, I am going to go through it rather quick, but I'll stop if you have any questions. The floor plan, since we showed it, of course I just did that.
It's off, Chris.
This one's on.
What's up?
This one's on, this one's off.
What have you done?
I hit the wrong button. So as before, site is unchanged. Parking in the front around the perimeter loop. Athletic fields are shown as future at this point. Floor plan remains unchanged from what you saw at the design development stage. It's just progressed further as far as level of detail, and I can show that here in just a second when we wrap this part of it up. Second floor. And then the enlarged areas, again, no changes really to the floor plans. The biggest things for us, a few like little tiny electrical closets, janitor's closets, those things have kind of moved around as we've gone through and developed some of the mechanical systems in a larger level of detail. And all in all, the spaces, the configurations, that has not changed.
Chris, did you fix that one door that wasn't there? Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Really? There we go. So, 2 alternates. This is the auditorium expansion, which that is the balcony, and then the elevated walking track. Those are the 2 alternates that we presented before. There is a third alternate. That alternate is it's going to be listed on the documents as 1A, 1B, 1C. It's the same as we did on the Richwood Cherry River project for HVAC controls. The preferred controls for the county is what's specified as base bid, and then so it's not a proprietary spec. We're providing the option for 3 other manufacturers to provide a price, but you see what that price is so that you can keep that system the same as what you're doing, especially on the new project at Richwood, and ties into your other county control systems. So that alternate is in there. That's the same alternate as we did on the other project. So just want to make sure that we're aware there's actually 3. And you do not have to award that alternate. That controls alternate, you can choose to take somebody else's price if it's cheaper and it benefits you all, but you are not required to take it.
So that part of the bid evidently is going to be by itself.
It's a separate alternate item that you can go through, and it does not preclude you from taking alternate 1, which is the balcony. That's just a subset alternate for preferred on controls. So the building and the exterior materials haven't changed. The biggest change you'll see here, we've done away with the windows on the south side. We've done a few other cost trimming items, but all in all, the building still looks the same. Most of these, we can reconfigure the windows slightly, just for a couple of feedback and comments we got from the cost analyst, working to get the cost as competitive and as down as tight as we can. So these, like I said, these you've seen before. This hasn't ultimately changed. That's on the middle school side. So milestones, bring you up to date. We are here. These are the milestones that were submitted to FEMA. So we're at the point where construction documents are submitted to you all for approval. We're here in February. So your approval tonight, what you're approving is the construction documents. This is to be able to go to the School Building Authority and the West Virginia Department of Education for submission. So pending their review should take in the neighborhood of, technically they have 2 weeks, but sometimes it takes 3. But based upon that time frame, we're anticipating an advertisement date to come out around mid-March. And we're looking to receive bids by the end of April. So this would be the award of the construction package, and commencement of construction would be in May. And then these are some specifics that we're required to give, but these are as construction progresses and final completion. So, I will not go through them. I promise I will not go through these. But I wanted to at least scan through this. This is volume 1 of the construction drawings. There are actually 5 volumes of drawings. There is over 550 sheets of drawings in this set. But just so that we'll just pick one. Let's go here. Let it get into focus. So full level of detail, these are construction drawings. So this would be the auditorium stage. So you see column grid lines, dimensions. All of our doors are numbered, rooms are numbered, large plan details. Back. There we go. But it is, so we get into ceilings. So ceiling plans are all in here. All of our roofing. So it's a big document here. There we go. So all of our roofing. So we have drawings for all of that. In this set, it is a complete set of documents. So it covers everything from the floor plans. It covers the detailing. These are now going to take forever to load. Interior finishes. It has all mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So for complete building construction is what are in these 5 volumes of drawings. So exterior building elevations in flat form. You've seen them in the 3D view, but when you start to flatten them out, detailed wall sections for construction. And then our volume 1 set stops at the 300s. Be happy to load anything else up if you want to see, but their construction drawings are ready. They're ready to go, be submitted for the agencies for approval. We are what we believe is 100% complete. We're now going through and doing a final QA/QC review. Been doing that over the last 4 weeks. They'll go to the agencies. I'm sure they'll have a few comments. We'll have to incorporate any of those comments that are appropriate at that point prior to going out to bid, and then address any of Department of Ed's questions or concerns. That's a new SBA policy now. So they go simultaneously. They'll go out to Department of Ed and the SBA at the same time. SBA goes through and does their review. Department of Ed does a different review. They actually review their policies. They actually also are reviewing SBA policies for compliance for items in there too. We get a list back from the SBA. We'll get a list back from the Department of Education. Some of the things from the Department of Education are a recommendation. Some of them are requirements. So we'll go through and make any changes that need to be revised. And then we reply to those comments back to the Department of Ed before the School Building Authority will allow us to advertise for bid. So that's the process. Any questions?
So tomorrow, or within the next day, you'll get those out or so to those, the SBA and the Department of Education. Then we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, so if it's approved tonight, we'll print the final set tomorrow morning. It takes, to print the drawings and to get there's 3 volumes of specification books that go along with this. It will be Wednesday morning before the blue printer gets all that back to us. So they will be submitted by Wednesday, Thursday of this week, no questions.
The SBA will probably turn it around faster than the Department of Ed.
Yep.
Department of Ed will take a little bit longer to review it.
Yeah, they're looking for 2 different things in their reviews. So the Department of Ed is more of a nuts and bolts review, where SBA is more of policies, procedures. They're looking at documentation.
The bidding section, the bidding front end, the specifications.
Yeah.
Not so much the drawings, but the bidding part.
So when this goes out for bid, how many packages are we looking at?
So we started to break that down. So the bidding packages, what we're looking at is we're looking at taking a combination of multi-prime and single prime. So you'll have what's called a general trades contract, a plumbing contract, HVAC, electrical, fire protection, and we'll do food service equipment, because that'll be, food service equipment will be your kitchen, your ProStart, and your concessions. Those will be what we're calling bid package 1, and those are all sub bid packages in bid package 1. Bid package 2 will be a general construction contract for the entire thing. So you're going to get what we refer to as multi-prime bids, which is what I just explained in the bid package 1. Bid package 2 will give a contractor to provide a single price to provide all of those items. And then we've got, in the same bidding, we have our bid package 3 series, which we're breaking out lockers, appliances, stage curtains, gym equipment, science laboratory casework, plastic laminate, auditorium seating, and gymnasium bleachers. Those are separate bid packages. The reason for that, those bid packages being broken out, take the markup of a sub to the GC, so you're going to save the markup cost on those, and those are significant size packages on this project. So again, that's going to help save dollars. For us, it's a little bit more work to manage those contracts, but those are pretty easy and basic contracts. Those are contracts that are typical. These are things that we were used to managing anyway. And then we will have bid package 4 later. That is loose furnishings. That's like your seating, your tables, chairs. We'll do some of the technology in that package, and then some of the specific equipment that's new to the facility in the welding shop, construction shop, some of those type of things. The reason for that, Those are considered what's loose items. They're not really affixed to the building. They're not really attached to the building. What we're trying to do is separate these out so that we can see what the overall costs are to get a building that's functional, and looking at where we've got to budget out those items on furnishings later. Besides the technology part, and Mr. Hanshaw can back me up on this one, we don't really want to bid some of the technology today because it's going to be 2 years old by the time that it goes in the building, so we want to kind of really monitor that as we're going through. And we've done that same approach on the other project as well. But good question, but there's a lot of bid packages. But it gives single primes the opportunity to bid it. It gives the contractors that don't want to invest in that large of a project, we can break the packages up smaller, which we've done. So from a cost-effective standpoint, this is probably the best foot forward.
So you'll go over this in a pre-bid meeting with any contractors that are interested, right?
Yeah, so once it's advertised, we'll wait a couple of weeks. We'll have a pre-bid conference. Pre-bid conference will be mandatory for all bidders, all prime bidders. So it will be more heavily attended because everybody that I just read on that list has to be here. So that has to be mandatory for all those. Now we may limit it to the prime in Division 1 and Division 2, where the bleacher folks, they don't have to be here. So we got to still work through that part. But we will have a pre-bid. We go through the bidding requirements, post-bid requirements, and post-award requirements. Yes.
So that will occur after the 2 to 3 week period of time here, right?
More than likely after 2 weeks it's been advertised. It hits the newspaper at least twice legally. Once it hits the newspaper the second time, you're able to have a pre-bid after that. So we generally wait for 2 weeks. But we are proposing if we get the reviews in a timely manner, we can get the items incorporated quickly. I'm still anticipating a mid-March advertisement date and a late April bid date. That's going to give us at least, I'm looking for 6 weeks, because this is a large size project to bid. We gave them 5 weeks on the other project, and because of the phasing, that was needed.
Questions?
Any questions?
It's been a long time.
Yes, yes.
I have some people that are wanting to celebrate when they print.
Yes.
They've been there for the last month or more.
You can always tell them we didn't approve.
I'd rather not tell them that.
We won't show up for work.
Yeah.
Are you thinking there's going to be several bidders?
Yeah, we hope so with this scenario. Market's still a little volatile on some pricing. Some pricing has gotten better. Some pricing has not gotten better. Stone has come up, concrete has come up, continue to climb. Some of the plumbing items, electrical items, HVAC items, their availability is getting somewhat better, and their prices are come back down a little. But all across the board, we've seen now, this is month 3, the prices have somewhat overall stabilized, but we're still up. We're still up from where we were. So we're still anticipating the numbers could still come in a little high.
But it's not it's common throughout the state.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
But we are in a good time of year. Several people are completing a lot of some of the federal funded ESSER projects. Phase 2 had to be completed just a couple months ago, 3 months ago. Phase 2, Phase 3 ESSER funds still go into September of this coming year. So I think there's a fair amount of contractors looking for work, so we should see some good competition.
Good. You probably see several from out of state too.
Yeah, when it gets advertised, it is a federal advertisement as well, so it's not going to be uncommon that we'll have bidders from other surrounding states pick up documents. I won't be surprised if we don't see a few bidders in some of the bigger states that are further away, at least pick up documents to see what it's about.
Especially a single prime person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
I think, so that they don't have to stick around too long, let's go ahead and vote on action item A. Is that okay with everybody?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the Green Creek campus construction documents so that they can be put out for bidding pending approval by the West Virginia School Building Authority.
Discussion.
Oh,
I've never pretended to be for this. I've always been opposed to it. I've spoken to both faculties. They're not in favor of it. The public in general is not in favor of it. I'm not going to be in favor of it. I won't be a hypocrite. I have to sleep tonight. That's it.
My question is, what are they in favor of?
They're in favor of a K through 8 on that campus, leave Nicholas County alone, leave Votech alone.
That's not a part of the mediated agreement.
Problem is, you go changing that mediated agreement, you could lose your money for Richwood too. That's what it says in the document, boy. It states it pretty clear. You can lose all of it.
well, in the beginning, I may have had a different opinion about this, but I have said all along that I would follow the mediated agreement that was put in place before I became a board member. So until we run into a roadblock that we can't overcome, then I'm going to have to go with it because that's a mediated agreement. But that's me. Any other discussion?
I second. Guess it's
Any other discussion? So Dr. Penix made the motion, seconded by Mr. Berry. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, so motion carried. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. You all be careful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So action item B, approve the MOU for RHS Baseball and Richwood Community Center.
Yeah, this is in your packet. This agreement is substantially similar to the one that we have with St. Luke's. Just a few minor changes. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them.
Does that have I read, does it have a period of length, dates?
Yeah, I think it's for this school year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up and look at it.
And it's paid for with FEMA money, correct? We're reimbursed with that, you said, Jim? No?
No.
We
Yeah.
will,
Yes?
yes.
Yes.
On the Richwood,
There's not room at the
Pond.
St. Luke's gym for the
Okay.
practice, so, they lost their gymnasium, so we're renting St. Luke's, and so since there's not room there, we have to expand upon another place to use, and so it should be fully reimbursed by them.
We're still renting St. Luke's, aren't we?
Pardon?
We're still renting
Yes.
St. Luke's.
Yes.
yes. So it's my understanding that baseball practice wasn't taking place at St. Luke's. Baseball practice,
Yeah.
when they needed indoor practice, was taking place at the Career Center. And because we've expanded the programs up there, there's no longer room for them at the Career Center.
Oh, well, that may change things then.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought it was the St. Luke's.
No,
Was it conflict?
no. was it?
Okay, then probably no. It would not be reimbursed.
But the school will cover their programs, I mean, yeah, I don't think that it will be covered by.
Well, it was
FEMA.
just, what, $40 a month or something? Did I?
Hour.
Hour.
$40 an hour.
And this is just for when they need to practice indoors, so, you know, obviously you can't practice baseball too much inside. So the idea would be to use that when the weather is not good enough for them to be outside. And there, it will be Richwood High School that pays for that, because they determine, you know, their athletics. They support that, so that'll come from Richwood High School's budget.
And they're aware of that?
They should be, I mean,
Okay.
that's the way it's always been.
As long as, that's fine.
Yeah, it's always been that way.
Well, how can we pay for the gymnasium here, $4,000 a month, and then not pay for the same thing at the Richwood?
The only thing we can do at this point is ask FEMA if they're willing, which that's something we will do, but there's no guarantee that they're going to cover it.
Because it wasn't in the original
Right.
agreement.
Right. We can make a request and see if they'll cover it, but there's no guarantee that they will cover that because we're paying for St. Luke's, then that's conditioned, you know, the Red Brick Gym, and this is only going to be, you know, if the weather's bad and they have to go inside and practice. So I don't know that they will cover it, but I would think that we could do a project worksheet to request funds, of course, but I can't sit here and tell you that it's going to be covered by FEMA when I don't know that it's going to be.
I think we can argue the fact, you know,
We can argue
previous
it.
to the flood, they did use their school, and then as a result of the flood, they were displaced. And just so happened, we had the room in one of our facilities at the time, which we no longer have. So I think we could certainly ask and see, and we'll shoot for that.
Does FEMA pay for the rental of the gym that the city owns now,
Yes.
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 Old Main?
Actually, that was voted on by this board.
I don't want the folks at the high school to not realize that, you know, they could practice there, I think it said 3 hours a day. So that can add up quick, just as long as they know that they're if we can't get it reimbursed, that they're paying for it.
I have not had that discussion with
Because I don't think they have a ton of money in their athletics.
Right.
Yeah, I can call the principal, but, I mean, they know that
Okay.
if they're using a facility, they have to pay for it. So I don't think that's of any surprise. But I will definitely let him know.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, Ms. Atkins, approval of amended policy 5113 of open enrollment for non-resident students.
Sure, this is also in your packet. This is an amendment of a current policy, and we're asking you for you to approve it without comment. These changes represent changes that were necessary due to a change in policy at the Department of Ed, so this is language that they are suggesting. And it just adds an appeal process. Our old policy had an appeals process, but they appealed directly to the state superintendent. And this just kind of outlines that appeals policy a little bit.
Any questions? Approval of 8452.02, the stocking and administration of
Watson.
naloxone.
Yeah. This was a policy that we were approached by the Nicholas County Health Department. They have also brought us a model policy that several counties around the state were considering. We did put it out on comment. The policy comments have also been uploaded to your packet. They were all positive. So we didn't have any comments opposed to this policy. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to address those as well.
There was another drug policy, but it was for the same stuff, wasn't it? I thought I read two different ones there. Yeah, on down toward that. Well, that's the same number.
Oh, I may have uploaded it twice.
There's one up near the top and one near the bottom. It's just the top has the same number on it. One of them, I think one of them had the comments on it.
One is for comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been the difference.
Yeah, the one is just the comments. I uploaded the comments to
Okay.
you.
Yes, that's what it is.
Any questions or discussion on action item D? Okay, action item E, discussion and approval of the Jewel litigation settlement offer.
And this will require an executive session because we are under court order to keep the details of this settlement confidential.
Okay. Let's go ahead and approve of the contract enter class action lawsuit against major social media companies. F.
Okay, so you want to kind of set that one aside?
I'm just holding it back for a minute.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that information is also in your packet. This is the same law firm that's handling the Jewel litigation settlement offer. This is against your major social media companies, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, I believe, for the damages that school systems have suffered as a result of addiction to social media. So it's going to focus a lot on mental health issues, bullying. So this is, because this is a class action lawsuit, this is contingency fee. So this will cost us $0 to enter, just like with the Jewel, and you know, any funds that we get, then any fees that we require from the attorneys will be taken out of the funds that were awarded, if any.
That's standard 35%, 35%.
33, I think it said.
Yeah,
33.
but that will come directly out of any monies that were awarded. So we're not on, we will not incur any kind of liability with this. So if it gets tossed, we're out nothing.
Okay, and then there's one other action item, approval of the clinical teacher of record agreement with West Virginia University.
Yes, that's also in your packet. They've changed this a little bit. This used to be called the teacher in residence. This is where you have a person in a teacher prep program that has not completed their program but has met certain program requirements, and this will allow them to fill vacancies in the hopes then that that would lead to a full-time position. So this is for a student who attends West Virginia University.
Now, do they come in as student teachers or do they come in as substitutes?
They come in as employees. They're paid a lesser rate than what a regular teacher is,
Yeah, I
but
think
they
it
are,
said 65%. Maybe.
yeah, something like that. They are paid a salary, and they work, you know, for the semester or for the year as the case may be.
So it's a little more than student teaching. It's a
But student teaching, you don't get paid anything.
right.
So yeah. And then you know, because they're hired into the position, and then once they're, you know, once they're fully certified, then, you know, hopefully they decide to stay. And then we have a certified teacher. This is for, this person has expressed interest in the biology position at Nicholas County High School, which has been posted multiple times.
And when is that, would they do that this semester?
I think probably as soon as we could get them set up, and that there's some hoops they have to jump through with the Department of Ed.
What's that under?
So,
What's that under? What's the title here?
How many hours do they have?
Oh,
Do they have to be junior or senior? I assume.
another thing when they get
yeah,
back to
they have to have all the practice exams out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know about the teacher of record agreement?
Yes, the
Teacher.
CRT agreement, Nicholas County.
CRT, it's
Right,
at the
well,
top.
at the top, wasn't
Right
it?
at the top.
Yeah.
It's the second thing under
Okay.
the personnel, CRT.
Well, if it's a top, I've read it then.
It's
If it's the bottom-
CTR.
If it's at the bottom, it's doubtful.
Yeah, it's
CTR,
CTR, not
clinical
CRT.
Clinical
Don't say
teacher of
that.
record.
Yeah.
Let's say
CTR.
That's what my brain saw when I read that first CRT.
Yeah.
Clinical teacher of record, old teacher in residence.
Okay.
So if they, if we accepted somebody, then we wouldn't have to, I mean, if we hired them for this and they passed everything, they would just continue if they would stay.
Yes,
We wouldn't have to repost it.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They talked like they'd be monitored both by the county and the university
Yes,
along the way.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely,
If
absolutely.
things got out of hand, somebody ought to catch it.
Right. We've had teachers in residence here before, since I've been personnel director, and it's worked out well for us. I think eventually the person moved on to another county, but, you know, it's probably our best shot at putting a certified teacher in there because, you know, the last several biology teachers that we've hired spent alternative certification.
You may have to hire somebody to bring breakfast and stuff every morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Both.
Okay, let's back up to action item E, and so we need an executive session.
Mr. President, I recommend that we go into executive sessions. We learned in our meeting the other day for the purpose of discussing a matter under, it's actually 6-9A-4B-11, which states that we're going to talk about something that is of a legal nature and requiring that the settlement might be affected by having an open meeting. So,
Yes.
does that do it?
That does it, thank you. We learned all kinds of things. Okay, do we have a motion to come out of the executive session?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Berry makes a motion to come out of executive session. Second by Dr. Penix. All in favor? Aye. At 7 o'clock, and there were no decisions made. Okay, do we have a motion to accept action items? We've already taken care of A, so action items B, C, D, E, F, and G.
So moved.
So Dr. Penix makes a motion. Mr. Moose seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried, unanimous. Consent items.
I don't need it.
Okay, first item on finance agenda is payment of current invoice. Have any questions? We handed out a few this week.
Second item are supplements and transfers for this meeting. And we have a few of those. First one is the ARP homeless grant, $115,000. And that's primarily budgeted into supplemental salaries and supplies. Then an optional pathway training travel grant for $750, followed by a mini program modernization electrical and welding grant of $9,868. High cost acuity grant, $3,036. Optional pathway grant for $3,000. Another high acuity state grant, $4,976. Then our special ed school age grant was decreased from our original budget, $1,991. We've made those adjustments. Also a decrease in our pre-K allocation grant for $11. And then finally, Save the Children grant, $83,157. And most of it is budgeted into salaries and fixed charges with some supply money. Treasurer's report, I'd like to table that to the next meeting. Just realized it didn't copy in the expenditure side of the report, so I'll just present them both, just have the revenue side. So if I'll table that to our next meeting.
Kevin, before we go on, we're with Board of Risk and Insurance Management. It's our insurance carrier, right?
Our liability and property insurance, yes.
Have our premiums been pretty stable over the last couple of years with them?
Relatively stable, yes.
Okay. They haven't seen an increase in last year?
Relatively speaking, no. I mean, a few $1,000s plus or minus, but we have been notified that on the liability side, they're expecting 150 to 225% increase on that, just due to the increases across the state. And so how that will affect us specifically, I don't know yet. They said that they basically took the losses statewide and then came up with a percentage that they'll allocate to each county based upon your claims. So
100 to 250% increase.
yes.
Now,
And we currently pay about $180,000 a year on liability insurance. So you're looking at a minimum 150% is $90,000, upwards to 225% probably.
And they're talking about this for next year.
Yes.
Did I see that we have like a $5 million liability and then another 1.5 and another liability?
We have some liabilities on our financial statements, yes.
I mean, we have liability insurance.
Liability insurance.
6.5 million.
Usually it's $1 million per occurrence with a $5 million aggregate. So there's a bill being presented to the legislature about covering some of these additional costs in the FY25 school year, but we may not escape that for this upcoming school year. We may have higher premiums this upcoming school year. So you'll see, when I do the budget, you'll see that I'll probably budget at least another, if I don't have any indication what Nicholas County is going to be, it'll probably be at least $100,000 more just for our liability insurance.
Could go higher.
It could go higher, yeah.
100,000 would be at the minimum, and then we can go up as high as 250%. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you figured how much the energy costs have raised this past year or so?
I have not. I'll be able to do some comparison when I work on the budget, just to compare this past year to the previous years.
I think they've almost doubled.
they, certain costs have definitely gone up.
Natural gas especially.
Yeah. Just about all costs have gone up, actually.
Is there some place we can see the current FEMA balance? I know you gave us about 95 million there at one time,
Right.
but
I don't have anything with you. It should be on the treasurer's report next meeting.
it'll be up to date with everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it will.
On page 1, transportation.
On expenses
Yes, sir.
or,
The one you just gave us.
yes.
Bluebird bus sales. I thought, do we even have a Bluebird bus yet?
No. I was gonna say, he can actually come up and talk about it. You wanna come up and talk about it?
So what's the blower assembly heater? Is that for another bus that,
Yeah, I think some of the parts are interchangeable. They
Okay.
don't have to necessarily come from international.
I got you.
per se.
all right. So the reason I asked that, because I didn't think we had a Bluebird bus yet.
No, we don't have one yet.
Okay.
I'm excited to get one.
The next item on our agenda is contracts. We do not have any surplus property on this agenda, so the next item is our contracts. We have 2 contracts with the Summersville Arena and Conference Center. Nicholas County High School would like to hold their prom there, and total fee, which is paid by the school, is $7,191. And you can see near the end of that contract, it breaks down the itemization of what those expenses are for. And then they would also like to have their graduation there. And I believe it was $1,000. Yeah, $1,000. Of what the school will pay for that as well. And the last item is a budgetary item. As you know, we have the West Virginia Extension as part of our, or 4-H as part of our excess levy. And in our levy, we have a allocation of $30,000. And so they're asking for us to go ahead and approve that at this point for their allocation for the upcoming school year. And so I have that in your packet for approval.
Those are already set to levy
They are set in the
for the
levy.
5. Are we in the first of the 5 years on this?
5 years. Oh, we are in the
Or is it second?
second year of 5.
So they're requesting the payment,
No, they're just requesting approval of their budget.
approval of the budget
We won't remit payment till the next actual.
till next year.
Right.
I got you.
So he signs that down here for its precedent.
Yes, I would assume so.
And can he? is that-
Board of Education approval. That might be a question that Dr. or Ms. Atkins would say.
We may have to have Donna sign.
Maybe. Mrs. Glasscock is on that committee. I don't know if that's a conflict or not, but.
All right, she and I signed right together there. Because you're talking about that 30,000. Yeah, we both. It was on, I thought it was on in the.
Yeah.
I think it's on the last page down.
Yeah,
So no-
that's what I saw this afternoon.
Sign this also.
You may have to abstain for that.
Thank you.
That's all I have on the, for finances.
All on that board, yeah. The extension.
Be bids,
Bids. Oh, was there bids?
boiler replacement.
And the bus.
And the buses.
Oh, I don't have that in my packet.
I emailed you and told you that we were adding it, but Alan.
Alan can speak to it if they have questions.
Okay, yes. I remember that now. Oh, those are just requests for approval to go out to bid, aren't they? Come on, Val.
Now, which one you see in that video?
He's gonna kill it.
So the first item apparently is the permission to put the boiler replacement Nicholas Hay House go out for bid.
The reason we're asking for permission is it most likely be a pretty costly expense. It'll be a big ticket item. They have two boilers. They are both the originals with the school, so they're 40 years old. They've had several repairs over the years. However, they've just, especially one of the boilers has just about completely rusted out. It's not even, it's turned off right now, so we're running off one boiler right now.
Is that the one that they actually made a part to fit because they couldn't
Yes.
get parts for?
Yeah. And the scary part of it is, with this, we've talked to some people that would possibly bid on this or provide the service. To get a boiler in right now, it might take 9 to 10 months. And so the scary part is if that boiler goes down, then we don't have a backup. So right now we're running off our backup. And so is it working right now? Yes. But we would like to get both of those replaced. Even though the one's still working, they're both the same age and they're both in pretty similar condition. So it's probably a matter of very short time that the other one follows. Because they are the original. I think 77 is the date on the boiler. So if you get that many years out of a boiler, I think we've done pretty good. But I think it's time we put that out and try to get it replaced. Because with that timeline, that puts us into next winter when we'll probably be able to even get that replaced.
You don't have much of an option if you're gonna have school there.
We don't.
No, there's really not much of an option.
Run out firewood trying to heat it up.
So I think we've tried to put Band-Aids on it about as long as we can, and there's not much else for us to do for it.
And item B was 2 new Bluebird buses.
I'm sorry, you're going to replace both, right? You're going to replace both?
Both boilers,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And we're actually looking at a couple different options as to, there are some other options out there to replace them with some more higher efficiency versions of it. But I'm going to try to do a little bit of research to figure out if that is actually going to be probably more financially responsible for us or not. So I'm trying to dig into that. I want to working with the State Department to try to talk to them to see if there's any other examples across the state that we can kind of go off of. Any other questions on?
Would you need to maybe check with our architectural firm, in regard to their knowledge or heating and that type of thing?
Who do you mean?
Well, ZMM,
ZMM?
like our architect or another architectural firm.
Yeah, we probably could. What I was going to do was I was going to start with the State Department,
Yeah.
SBA.
Yeah.
That's free.
Yeah, that would be free consultation and just to see what some of the other counties are doing. There's other counties.
I would think ZMM will be putting some kind of boiler system in the new building there. It'd be gas fired.
At the,
Yeah, Blake,
in Glade Creek.
maybe Richwood too, I don't.
I'm not sure,
Those aren't gonna be,
no, I think they're gonna be, it's gonna be a very different, I think it's gonna be a very different system.
whole different system.
Well, okay, it won't be heating water.
Those
what
are
you're saying.
subcontractors.
Not,
Yeah.
not a boiler.
The-
It'll be a forced.
CMM's not doing it.
Yeah,
No.
geothermal.
But you would think there'd be, in 40 years, there'd be some kind of improvement on that heating system.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, although, I do think, comparatively, I think the one at NCHS still does pretty well, considering its age and as far as how efficient it is.
Well, Rick, 40 years, it's probably time to replace them. And,
Yeah, quick as possible.
and then, you know, hopefully, if everything goes like it is, we're gonna move Summersville Elementary there, so we don't wanna fight it then.
I mean, you think about your water tank in your house, if you get 40 years,
You don't
get
get
it.
it.
you don't. So we're probably pretty fortunate to have,
After 2 years.
you know, made it this far. And we're lucky we have a good maintenance crew to, you know, keep things going, so.
Okay, the two buses. When will we do the one that we've already
It
purchased?
should be here sometime this spring, the special needs bus. The reason I brought this up is the price of buses is going to go up. So if we were to order one, even right now, the price is probably going to go up about $6,000 a bus. The reason I'm asking for these two is Bluebird they have these. They'll come, so we'll get last year or this year's model. So we'll get, I think they're 22s, but they're brand new. So we won't see that price increase. So instead of waiting until next year to order, to try to save a little bit of money, we have it in the budget to go ahead and get that and save the money now. And we'll still be getting brand new buses. So we're going to have to order them anyways next year.
Well, we were talking to another county that had kind of put that off, and they got in a mess over it because they kept putting off buying new buses, and then all at once their fleet was all old. So
Well, and I'll tell you, I kind of had a realization. I was down at the bus garage last week one day, and we had several trips that had gone out. I have several buses that are down right now. We have some older buses that probably need to be retired soon. But we had two trips going out, and we only had 2 buses. So once those drivers came and they were subs, they got in and took off, we had 0 buses left on the lot. And that was kind of a scary thought. If we'd had a bus go down, we would have to be creative on where we went from there. So, you know, it is a need. So
the bus that was in the accident, is it
Out of commission.
is it out of commission? Yeah,
no, it had very minimal damage.
good.
Why does it say specifications for 4 new Bluebird in the first?
So Bluebird originally they had four buses in stock.
Oh,
So that was just those 4 in general. They had 4 buses, 4 in-stock buses.
you selected 2.
And so they promised 2 somewhere else, and they said they would hold 2 until I could discuss it with the board. So they wouldn't hold 4 for us.
That's pretty standard. We tried to buy 2 a year for years, I think.
2 or 3.
2 to 3.
But this is the cost per bus.
Per bus, yeah.
Okay.
And there may be, like when we have to put the camera systems on and some of those things, you'll see that fluctuate a little bit. But yeah, for that bus, that is the cost.
How much time do you have to respond?
I mean, we,
Has to be pretty quick, doesn't
they
it?
didn't give me a timeline.
You have money in your account to purchase these buses, though, right?
Gas powered.
These are our gas. And we have not got our gas tank yet, but we've been collecting quotes on those, and we're working on getting that in place. So,
How many buses do we have in the fleet?
I don't know the exact number. I'm gonna say close to 55, maybe 56.
Including your spares?
Huh?
Including your spares?
Including
Yeah,
spares,
that
yeah,
includes
that's.
Will those run on 87 octane?
Say that again. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, instead of high,
Yep.
90.
How much was your allowance for purchase of buses this year in the budget?
Approximately 360, I think it's 367,000, right in that neighborhood.
We already spent some on the smaller bus.
We were going to purchase this other Bluebird, and there were 2 other buses we purchased. We have a couple of years of allocations set aside, so there's plenty of money to buy these.
You can carry it over.
Yeah, we get a part of the state aid formula. There's a bus replacement line, and so we've been just keeping that separate just for buses.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Don't forget all the state trips.
Oh, yes, out-of-state trips, I forgot, thank you.
They're not all out of state, I don't think, but.
Out-of-state and rental travel request.
Y'all keep adding stuff to the back of my, I don't see it. Apparently out-of-state travel.
Those are all federal money, aren't they? Well, not the bulk. No. There's some bulk trips, I think, out of state, a couple.
Yeah, the schools cover those.
Yeah,
The Title IX would be federal.
they're all federal.
Title IX's not.
No.
Except for the bulk.
Title IX's not.
Oh,
The Title IX one, number 5's not.
And Chris is covering that one, won't he?
No, it's coming out of our general.
County expense.
Yeah, it's coming out of county expenses.
I doubt any of them.
Title IX is not, is that what we said?
Title IX is not coming out of federal.
It's not federal money. It's,
Okay.
But so that everybody's on the same page, those folks need this. And you still don't have it?
Pardon me?
Did you find it?
Yeah, maybe, is number 1 a federal program? It's the trip to,
I think it had those loaded in your packet as to who
I
was
think there's
paying
some
for it.
trip
Sarah
to
Lee's
Nashville.
paying.
if there, yeah, that would be the only one, number 1 would be the only one that I can see that would be federally.
the rest of them come
Yeah,
from
Sarah
the school
Lee,
pays
Dr.
their
Lee's
funds.
covering Emily and Ashley's trip. Those would be on title.
How will they be traveling to Nashville on the Title IX?
Driving.
Individually?
I think some of them may be riding together. Some of them are carpooling, some might be separate.
That one was County High School, and they're going to take a rental.
A van?
Uh-huh.
Any questions? Okay, let's, do we have a motion to accept consent items? Finance, 1, payment of current invoices, supplements and transfers, 2, 3, treasurer's report, treasurer's report, we're tabling. So number 3 is tabled. Finance, 4, surplus property,
There wasn't any.
wasn't any. 5, contracts, A and B. 6 bids, A and B, out-of-state travel and rental travel request 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Any,
On that,
Look at their contract. You know, we'll have to sign, is that on here? Okay, it's not, okay. All right.
on the West Virginia extension, somebody had a question about Chip's sister signing that.
That's what I was just asking, it's
And
actually not
well,
on here.
I signed that too, and I just wondered if I'd vote, if that nullified my vote.
No.
Because I've already voted on it. I mean, there, it's not here.
It's not on here.
On this section.
His signature's on.
Kevin,
This, on that contract.
so this contract is not
Yeah,
listed.
that budget contract wasn't listed on the agenda.
Oh, it's not.
Mm-mm.
I read that.
I
I read it
don't know if
somewhere.
it should have been where the surplus property was, but we just copied and pasted what you sent us over.
Okay, well, we can approve it next meeting.
Can we do that on March 1st?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we leaving out 6B, the buses? Are we leaving that out?
no, 6, A and B.
Oh, I thought you just stopped the 5AB.
If I did, I didn't mean to. I'll, finance 1, 2, 4, 5, A and B, 6, A and B, and out-of-state and rental travel request 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So everything except we're tabling the treasurer's report.
And just go ahead and vote on that again for us.
No,
It's
That
not on
contract's
here.
not on there.
It's not on here.
I read it somewhere.
It's on your files, but
But it's not
It's
on
not
the
on the
agenda,
agenda.
so we can't,
Okay,
it's not on the agenda.
okay, okay.
Mr. President, I move we approve whatever you said.
I'll second that.
That was to use Dr. Penix's credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion by Dr. Penix, second by Mr. Green. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, personnel.
Yes, you have the updated personnel agenda in your packet. I uploaded it to your packet. The changes are highlighted in yellow. An updated copy has been made available to the public and members of the press, but I will read the changes. Under professional, Melissa Carey, employing the position of itinerant permanent substitute teacher for the Nicholas County Learning Center, effective February 27, 2023. Jessica Woods, employing the position of planning teacher at Birch River Elementary School, effective upon release from Roane County Schools.
Whoa, I can't,
I don't think they've found
I can't get it.
It's saying
Mine
something went
says-
wrong, it
yeah.
won't load.
Huh?
Mine won't load
Go
either.
to your files, can you get to
Do you want me to go get paper copies?
Oh, yeah.
I opened mine, that's how I'm
It's
reading,
not,
Let's go
it's
back
not
a
open.
second here.
because that's how mine opened.
Yours is on top.
Oh, mine open now?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
It
there we
wouldn't.
go. Now, you're on the right meeting.
Do you need a paper copy?
Come to the personnel.
Go out of it.
Should load up now.
Is yours?
No, I haven't found it.
Yours
It's not on top.
his will not reload.
It's on top. It's on a personnel.
Sorry.
It's a top one.
Me too.
Well, here's your paper copy.
Yeah, that's what's
Oh,
what's
I got a
changed,
paper
is
copy.
it?
Is that what you put out there?
Went away.
Yes.
Today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why that wasn't on there?
Well, I tell you, when I have to
Hey,
help
Chris, where you at? That problem I was having.
Yeah, mine won't load or something.
Will you help me?
Did you close out of it and open it back up?
I did.
Why?
I
Why
can
did
get you-
that?
Paper
I mean, I
copy
know
that's
what,
out
I
here.
know what it is, I don't.
Yours
Okay.
didn't disappear, did it?
Yeah, I removed it.
I closed his out, I mean, Mr. Bruce's, and it wouldn't.
Mine won't either.
She gave me a copy, I'm ready.
Okay. So then that's Melissa Carey as the itinerant permanent substitute at the Learning Center, effective February 27th. Jessica Woods, planning teacher at Birch River Elementary, effective upon release from Roane County Schools. We are removing the literacy program after school coordinator for Cherry River Elementary, and we will be reposting that. Under service, I made one correction to the effective date of Laura Smith. employee in the position of bus operator from 1/31, effective February 21st, 2023, instead of the 23rd. On page 2, under professional extracurricular, added Christy Cottrell to employee in the position of Falta Shelter tutor, effective at the direction of the Director of Student Services. Holly Beckwith, employee in the position of Summer Boost Site Coordinator for Cherry River Elementary. Monica Cox, Summer Boost Site Coordinator for Golly River Elementary. Misty Cougar, Summer Boost Site Coordinator for Summersville Elementary. Lisa King, Summer Soul Site Coordinator for Richwood Middle School. Maria Pennington, Summer Soul Site Coordinator for Summersville Middle. All of those effective with the start of the program. Teresa Dennison, ESY itinerant preschool special needs teacher. Rachel Westfall and Martha Bodiford, ESY itinerant special education teacher. Both of those effective with the start of the program. Zach Lyons, employed in the position of head baseball coach at Richwood High School, effective upon completion of any applicable WVSSAC, WVDE requirements. John Malcolm, employed in the position of assistant baseball coach for Richwood High School, effective upon completion of any applicable WVSSAC, WVDE requirements. And Tiara Brown, employed in the position of assistant softball coach at Richwood High School, effective upon completion of any applicable WVSSAC, WVDE requirements. Under surface extracurricular, Robin Short and Kim Hall, employed in the position of ESY itinerant transportation instruction aides, effective with the start of the program. Under consent, Travis Giles resigns his position as assistant baseball coach for Nicholas County High School, effective February 16, 2023. Catherine Collins resigns her position as long-term substitute cook at Nicholas County High School, effective February 20th, 2023. And then also permission to post and hire 3 super scholar cooks to be paid for with county funds. And then on page 4, you also have a leave request, which I will not read aloud to protect the privacy of our employees. And on page 5, you have an updated list of vacancies with the hires tonight. That'll bring our vacancies for this year down to 18, including retirements for next year, which I didn't add Nancy Losh to this, so that will go up 1, for a total of 16
16?
vacancies.
That person at Birch River, will that help? Can that help alleviate their problem with double classroom that they're having? Can that person help with teaching and the overflow?
They have a split grade at Birch River.
Yeah, right.
I think the only way you get rid of the split grades would be to hire a teacher. Planning teacher has to cover the class while the teachers have their duty-free planning.
That's all they're allowed to do, right?
That takes up all the time.
That takes up all their time. I mean, they'd be allowed to cover that, but then we've got to provide that teacher with a planning period. By law, they're entitled to that planning period. So the only way to eliminate that would be to hire a teacher.
That's bothered me ever since the LSIC meeting, and I hope we can find some way to alleviate that.
I'm not really sure how. I mean, looking at, in terms of what we've lost in budget, we're actually going to have to be making $500,000 to $600,000 worth of cuts this year. I mean, we have to cut somewhere. I mean, I can look at it, but I'm not sure what we can do about that.
Okay, do we have any other discussion? Do we have a motion to accept the personnel agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Berry makes a motion.
I'll second.
second by Dr. Penix. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Okay, superintendent's information, construction planning, architectural update.
Pass these out just to regular updates. I really don't have anything new to add unless you have questions.
Yeah, we didn't have a,
I have one today. We have our update today. That's what this is.
Has it been able to do anything at Richwood?
They were working on that today. Yeah, they were
Contract.
starting to move some dirt.
Oh,
And they've got their equipment in there, they've got the fence up all the way around the construction.
okay.
They work on the inside also.
All right.
okay. Number 8, reports A, SESC, Dr. Penix.
I was unable to attend the meeting, it was last Wednesday, but I can't remember, I was not able to attend on Wednesday. So
Okay.
I'll get it next month, so sorry.
Well, we talked to him at Friday and Saturday.
That's right, he was at the conference.
Okay, Mr. Green, Bright Horizons.
We have a meeting on Thursday, so I'll have updates next morning.
Okay. Do we have any delegations?
No, sir.
Thank you. Anybody have items for future agendas?
No, but I'd like to say that bus outside looks nice.
Turned out pretty
I parked right beside it. Sidewalk. No, I mean, I just parked beside it.
She's carrying pictures of it around like a new baby.
It looks showy. Proud of that baby.
Anything else for future agendas? Future meeting dates. Regular meeting, March the 1st, that's a Wednesday. March 1st, starting at 6 here at the central office. Regular meeting, March 20th, starting at 6 at the at the central office. And then regular meetings, Monday, April 3rd, 2023, the central office. Regular meeting Tuesday, April 18th, and that's per West Virginia Code at the Nicholas County Board Office, and that's at 6 o'clock. And then Monday, May 1st and Monday, May 15th are also regular meetings. Does anybody have anything else?
Kevin, the assessed property values, will you present those on the 20th or on the 1st? The proposed, yes.
I should receive them from the assessor on the 3rd of March, so I'll present those in the next board meeting after that.
On the 20th. And that gives you, that'd be the meeting we don't close until the April meeting, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion? Oh, Mr. Bayless, skills competition this week?
Yes, Thursday night, starts at 4.
4, awards at 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Refreshments?
Always.
Oh, I should have mentioned, on the 16th, we had 75 people come out, over 75 people come out for the LPN program. So I did not put the official MOU on this board meeting because we want to wait and have a special meeting scheduled with the college to actually present the MOU, but people are pretty excited about it.
And we had, I think, 4 or 5 families that called in that didn't get to come to the meeting, that left messages on my phone asking for information.
Yeah, so the principals will be taking care of that. Big turnout.
So we're the first county in the state to have this type of a program. We're offering students to leave our school system with an LPN licensure And Nicholas County is the first. I saw some people down at the conference talking to you about wanting to have that happen in their county, so I think that's wonderful that,
Yeah, and those folks can get a
We're out
job
front.
anywhere they want to, almost. There's openings up here in the new,
Stone Rise.
yeah.
well, that's the second program that we have pioneered actually for this state, and the other one being the associate's degree program for our students. That we can have students leaving our high school with an associate degree or 2 years of college in business and education, and actually we can have some teachers returning after two years of college back to teach for us. So again, Nicholas County pioneered the way on that one.
Well, all hearts and minds clear? Do we have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Moose made the motion.
Second, I second.
Mr. Berry second. All in favor? Aye. At 7:42.